Hello, crabs and crystal braves. My name is TV Skyn, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are on what has been a fairly never-ending quest to get the hell out of a realm reborn, and now we're close, ostensibly. I know I've said that for the past, I don't know, 14, 15 episodes, but this time for sure, it'll happen. I swear to God it'll happen. There's no time like the present to get... I see the carnival has arrived. With the tank. Wait, is that like a... Is that a tank, Commander Glam? Oh, that kind of rules. Okay, right. Talk to the NPC. Do the quest. Get to the thing. Commander Levier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talons is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raban's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found there, or rather here, at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein, that we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I'll inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it'll be welcome tidings. Hello.
Lieutenant Olpham, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon?
Just the fucking... Just a parade of people.
What the wicked sit well reminisce about old times, but I fear you have more pressing matters that require attention. Civilian draftsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates with the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design, no less. By my order, flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news in the latest movements of the Imperial Army. I would once again ask for your aid.
I do kind of headcanon it that NPCs in my game here just... Like, they've all sort of just been told by Alphino, like, listen, I know there's a lot of people, like, just ignore them, just pretend like they're not there. If you give them attention, they're just gonna get worse. Just pretend like they're not there. They only follow him around. Don't worry about it.
We've been keeping a close eye on that Garlean garrison. It would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the Castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have apprised your fellow Scions of the situation, and am heartened to know they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Alian and lend your much welcome strength to the counteroffensive. Report to the guy, and then report to the other guy, and then talk to the person and the other person, and then talk to this person and that person and the other two. Okay. I thought for a second I saw... Well... Now that is an impressive piece of steel. Oh, damn, no lie. Ooh, cool. Doesn't... Okay. Doesn't seem like it has a lot of structural integrity, but... Ooh, a big woolen coat. I'm kind of married to the sweater look for him, but... Oh, one could be convinced... Oh, there's a sweater underneath! Oh, perfect! There's a sweater in there. Excellent. Play with that later. Play with... Oh my god, you keep distracting me with glams! When I'm trying to be distracted by this woman's lovely axe. Have you ever seen Moan swing her axe? Swipe, slice, cleave. There's really no stopping her. Isn't she a beauty? A lady merchant in Revenant's Toll simply gave it to me. Said she was investing in the future or some such. Wait, where can I go to get that? Hang on. Be it a squad of soldiers or some Magitech monstrosity, I shall allow no foe to harm the lovely Moan Breather. Thancred, you know you're barking up, like, you know you're barking up the wrong tree there. Like, she has her eyes set on something, and it's a big, tall nerd twink, not little Captain Fuckboy over here.
Considering the weapon she wields, I don't believe the lady is in need of additional protection.
Me. Aha.
Glad to have you with us, Brick. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castra Meridianum. The main column... Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamut's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west.
Hello, Mr. Trustworthy, the man whom I trust.
They wish you to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men.
Captain Ilbert!
And the music, just like it really sort of sells how trustworthy he is and how much you should definitely trust him.
Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bids you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the force should have little trouble contending with aught the Garleans might throw at them. But even you cannot hope to be everywhere at once. The Third was getting restless holed up in Ul'dah, so I marched them here to fill out any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack.
The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls.
Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take the fight to the Garleans.
A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire.
In the business, we call that foreshadowing.
If there are no objections, the Scion shall join the Fourth and give the battle to this main column.
If you're with the Third, then, Warrior of Light, your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuyahaze. His scout should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now.
It's such a pity the Brick is mute, otherwise he could tell them that, hey, that guy probably murdered someone to prevent them from talking to us, but, you know, play the hand you're dealt.
A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pay the road to greater coin. And now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into two smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground, and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of enemy soldiers. This will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion!
Oh, wow, yeah, no. I mean, good job hiding, frankly. Like, honestly, not even kidding. Good job. That's quite impressive. Like, that's genuinely, damn. We've been discovered. The robot appears. Yeah. What, do you have cloaking devices on that thing? Imagine the thing that happens is just that Brick, like, runs into them. Like, he's just walking along, goes like, bonk. Oh, there they are. And they're like, diabolical, he found us.
You seem grim, Scion. I'll take it to mean that between us, more than a few Garleans won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they've certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid these war-torn lands farewell. I'll contact the Fourth and let Lieutenant Elian know the west is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein.
Yeah, clear. It was definitely a big offensive that they were doing with, like, 4 robots and 5 people. Thankfully, we have now defeated this menacing Imperial force that required multiple detachments of the Crystal Braves to hold back. Hi, everything's cool now.
Lieutenant Alpham, what news of the Garleans? Their raiding parties are no more then. Excellent. The Amagina engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in immediate danger. Thank you for your assistance. You must be anxious for words of your fellows. Lieutenant Alian has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Rogadin lady with the large axe. It would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but northern Thanalan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I should certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue on your way.
Sure thing. Time to do some unethical magical experiments.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
That line goes kind of hard.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me, an axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
No, I can relate.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
Winbrita, please don't foreshadow things like that. Don't throw that beach ball to Apollo, please.
He senses me. A useful talent.
Hanassian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns.
Oh, God.
But I waste my breath.
He literally just told her to smile more.
Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light. Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydelin has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the staff. With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
Thank you for being unable to resist enunciating your plans out loud. Lord Zodiarch, huh?
What did that bastard want with us? Nobrialis, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
Again, A+ line.
But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff. Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
You're here. Master Louis Soir's staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now.
You too.
So, you were able to divine my intent.
You said it out
What
loud!
now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull and quite incapable of barring my entry.
You said it out like you literally just said your plans out loud and then you were like, ah, so you were able to divine my devilish intent. Dumbass.
What do you mean?
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you. The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain. My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on.
Yeah, thanks for that, Meat God's armor, jackass.
But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Your sideburns look absolutely terrible, by the way, dude. Like, do you not trim those things?
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
It didn't really work last time, Moan. Okay.
Moonbreeder!
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting?
The staff is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power. Together with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals? Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
My God, you people. Stop foreshadowing these things.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it. Very well. If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
Oh man, I tried doing nothing and it didn't work. Like, Brick, do you want to move or something?
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
You'll be okay, right, Moonbri? I need to go find some people. Just need to go hit up some friends for a favor. She's a big girl. She's got lots of blood in her. Like, it'll take a while for her to bleed out. The Asian concern music sounds so Kingdom Hearts it tickles me still. It really does, doesn't it? Like with the constant choir singing and like the high voices. Oh Lord! Don't tell me. Don't tell me. The chair is also a mount, isn't it? And it's gonna fly. Yeah! Every time. Every time. Every goddamn time. Oh, good grief. Anyway, who wants to come along? Let's see. We can have 8 people, so let's just click on whatever random person happens to wander into my mouse cursor. I hope your DPS knows when to limit break. I hope so too. Me, I'm just gonna stand there and get hit. Again, y'all Ashians aren't really doing anything to make this less Kingdom Heartsy. Like, if he kicks my ass like a couple of times, I'll hop back out and we'll do like we'll turn off minimum eye levels. But for now, you know, let's try it as intended. Essentially. Hello. Oh, he casts double on himself. Cool. That's straight out of Final Fantasy VIII, interestingly. What are we doing? Oh, I see. We're trying to stop those things from doing whatever it is they do. Eat a different orb each time. Okay. Oh, now he's casting triple. Let's, yeah, okay. Uh-oh. Whoa! Well, he's not targeting me this time. Okay, are we doing orbs again? I think we're doing orbs again. I thought of a new insult for you. Your boss music sucks. It's not even good. Okay, that was orbs. Also, that shadow sprite there. Probably get rid of that. Right then. Okay, big boom. Portal soon. Okay. Oi, enough with the teleporting, you jackass. Still not targeting me, which is nice. Okay. So is that... I didn't get them all off. Okay. Okay. Meteor things. Fall on my head, please. Raindrops keep falling on my head. I send a message to the sun, and I told him I didn't like the way he got things done. Hey, we're all alive. Oh my god, enough with the teleporting. You laser spewing weirdo. And your boss music still sucks. Yeah! Suck on that for $1. Ah! Secret Ashen Man. Oh my god. Loser! Hey, Minfilia, how you doing?
You're safe. Thank the 12.
Does someone know a healing spell or something?
You may have bested me this day, but what of the next? What of all the days to come? Remember, light no longer holds sway here. I may return whensoever I wish, again and again and again. Eventually, you will falter, and the staff will be mine. Until next time, scions.
Congested loser. Oh, think of that subscription, Turling Drome.
There will be no next time. This is the end.
What trickery is this? No, no, cannot, no!
Use Tube Samati to gather ether. Quickly, before he breaks free.
Oh, don't move with urgency break or anything.
Concentrate. Call to mind the time you struck down La Habrea with the Blade of Light. Why won't it work? Is it because we lack the blessing of light?
Damn it. So much ether. And it still isn't enough.
Fools! No mortal prison can contain me. I shall make you pay for your insolence.
Please, Mother Heidelin, hearken to our plea. Lend us your divine light. Why can you not hear us? Do our words no longer reach you?
If only we had a bit more ether.
Well, I don't know. You have a thing in your hand.
Moonbreeder, what are you doing?
Master Louisoix, I understand now. The choice you made in death. There is life. Farewell,
Oh dear.
Urianger. You daft old coot.
I had I had a feeling the moment she started talking fondly about her past and her friends and all that, it sounded like I have only 6 months left until a retirement speech, but oh my god.
Moonbreeder! No! You mustn't!
What? No! It cannot end! I am eternal! I am immortal!
Moonbreeder. She's gone. You did it, my friend. The Ascian is dead. This device is a legacy of Moonbreeder's toils and sacrifice. I shall hold on to it for safekeeping.
Minfilia, are you all right?
I am.
Oh, we were surveying northern Thanalan when we received the distress call. We returned as swiftly as we were able.
It seems you have everything in hand, however.
What happened here? Where is Moonbreeder?
She gave her life to temper the Blade of Light. I have no words.
Rather than await the inevitable, she took her fate into her own hands.
Does Urianger know?
My friend, there is something I must tell you.
I heard all, my lady. The moon sinketh, taking her leave of the heavens, yet her passing heraldeth the coming of a new day. Moonbreeder hath fulfilled her destiny, hath she not? Long ago, far across the seas in the Sharlayan motherland, Moonbreeder and I did study under the sage tutelage of Master Louisoix. Full oft did he impress upon us that knowledge existeth to serve the greater good. This sentiment, however, was contrary to the nation's policy of neutrality, which censured intercedence in the affairs of foreign lands. In spite of vehement opposition, he founded the Circle of Knowing, and journeyed hitherto the heart of Eorzea. Through his noble sacrifice was the realm spared its doom. Yet this great soul, whom all should rightly have honored, was branded a pariah in his own land. His peers did accuse him of forsaking his duty as a man of learning, and of meddling in the course of history. When he left Sharlayan behind, Master Louisoix gave no word to signal his intent to Moonbreeder. Close as they were, as master and disciple, she was deeply wounded by the sudden exclusion from his confidence. Above all, however, she was confused. Try as she might, she could ill comprehend her master's motive. The slanders that were heaped upon him after his passing served only to inflame the turmoil within her. For years upon end, she knew not what to believe. Torn as she was twixt the man whom she revered and the man who forsook her and his duty both.
The Louisois I knew would never forsake his duty, much less one of his own.
This I know full well, my lady. 'Twas not for want of love that Master Louisois hid his intent. He but desired that Moonbreeder discover her own path, free of the shadow of his influence. Long did I contemplate revealing the truth to her, and long did I hold my peace. After all, was it not Master Louisois' wish that she come to the truth unaided? I told myself it was, and resolved to let her suffer. Knowingly did I deny my friend the comfort she craved. And now she hath gone to her rest, with doubt still in her heart. Speakest thou in earnest? Did Moonbreeder truly come to understand Master Louisois' will before the end? The realization hath set her free. She may now find the peace which hath for so long eluded her. Oh, Moonbreeder, my dearest, how I shall miss thee.
Moonbreeder gave her life that we might possess the means to defeat the Ascians. Her sacrifice must not be in vain. Let us continue her work on the Blade of Ether and see it to completion.
My lady, I would mourn Moonbreeder in mine own way. I beg your permission to return to the Waking Sands.
Of course, my friend. Take all the time you require. We shall be here should you have need of us.
All right, then. Okay, so that was a little cheap, I gotta say. Like, it was well presented, and certainly, like, Gideon Emery, like, as people point in chat, did a good job delivering it, but yeah, okay, so this is a classic thing that happens in long form narratives, right? Where, oh, we want to up the stakes, like we want to raise the dramatic stakes, we want to increase the tension, so we're gonna kill a character, like we're gonna have a character that the player is like attached to, and then we're gonna kill them, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, they killed it, and so instead of, you know, picking one of the characters that we've been with so long, though, instead of sort of actually taking one of the fan favorites who sort of existed for ages, we're like, okay, let's introduce them. Like, we can't kill any of those because people like them too much. There's too much fan art. So let's invent a new character and let her hang around a while, and then we kill her, and then it's the same thing as if we'd kill off a major character, right? And that's cheap. Like, that is, from a narrative and storytelling perspective, it's cheap. Like, it just is. Like, that's a cheap way to treat a character, because rather than Moonbreeder being introduced to be a character, to be someone who becomes, like, a part of the social dynamic, who has an arc, she's just sort of introduced to endear herself and then die, right? And we got all of the character building for her, all of her motivation, all of her backstory was delivered in a monologue after she was gone. Right? That's kind of how you know that it's like, oh, like they sort of try to backfill all of the meaningful emotional resonance to her character without actually keeping her around for long enough to show it to you. And that's the thing of like, I think it's also, I'm experiencing this on a compressed timeline, right? Like, this is happening for me sort of immediately one after another, where I suspect upon the release of these patches, like, it would have felt to players initially like she stuck around for a lot longer than for me, where she's been around for 2 days, essentially. So, yeah. That's like a cheap death. Because, like, it doesn't result, like, Urianger comes along and says, oh, yes, actually, she had this really complex backstory with Louis Soir, and she had these intense emotions of doubt that she was struggling with, and like, so that the fact that she sort of comes to understand Louis Soir and makes the same choice that he did, that's actually really meaningful in hindsight. We didn't want Moonbreeda to explain that to you. We didn't want Moonbreeda to express that to you, to tell her own story, so we're just gonna have someone else monologue about her after she's dead. And that led to Urianger having that long-ass speech, right? Like, that really sort of long, extended speech that was less about him expressing himself and more about him explaining Moonbreeda. Right, like, rather than him talking about his feelings, what was going on inside of him, he spent most of it just doing an exposition dump on who Moonbreeda is and why things happened the way that they did. That's it's cheap. That's a cheap way to use a character. That kind of sucks. I will say, Chad is talking about how it's a fridging, and I wouldn't say, I mean, that sort of depends on how things shake out in the aftermath, but a fridging is specifically when a character is introduced to be killed to drive someone else's storyline. Like when a character is introduced and then they're killed so someone else can be mad and angry and sad and go on a revenge rampage about it, right? Like, that's a fridging specifically. It's like, you do something terrible to one character so some other character can have a storyline out of it. I don't think this was a fridging as such. It was just a cheap death that wasn't very well handled, in my opinion. I was hoping she'd stick around, man. She was fun. She introduced like she has more personality than most of the other Scions put together at this point, so
Never have I seen Urianger so utterly defeated. No one should be made to suffer such grief. We shall gather in the Charlian Manor to celebrate Moonbreeda's life and mourn her passing.
La 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 la.
As Moonbreeda was a native of Charlian, I feel it's only fitting that we gather before the Mark of the Scholar. Are you familiar with the stone? 'Tis a monument found at Rathfrost, and is sacred to Thaliak, guardian deity of the City of Learning. There shall we pray for our dear friend's soul, and bid her a peaceful return to the light of the Mother Crystal.
Okay.
Was there aught we might have done to save her? 'Tis foolish to torture oneself with such thoughts, but the heart is oftentimes deaf to quiet reason.
That's the other thing, like as someone else pointed out in chat, by the way, she had the device that had just been attuned to a crystal, right? Like, that was the whole point of her making the device, was, oh, we're going to tune that to a crystal, and then we're going to get all of the ether we need to make the Sword of Light from doing that thing. And now here she was, lying, dying on the ground, and she's like, she has the device in her hand that should allow her to draw on more ether. And I thought that was what they were setting up. Like, I thought that was specifically the resolution that they were teasing, is that, well, time to field test the device and then it's gonna think. But instead it's like a heroic sacrifice thing where she uses the ether of her own soul to power up the blade, which is like, yeah, It feels weird that they set up that device and then they're just sort of hand-waving it off to, oh no, we'll use that one in the future, but this time around it's not going to make the difference.
As ever, I was a step too late.
The loss of those close to you is never easy, and Ida was closer to Minbrida than most. I don't want to believe she's really gone.
Yeah, well, you know. Bad writing claims another victim. You used the device for the blade, but it was too weak. Yeah, but like that's my point, is like it's weird that they set all of that up. That like this critical device is gonna make the difference, like, because again, it's sort of thematically in terms of how this seemed like this was being set up, is that the Asians are these ancient dark creatures from the depths of time that hide in the void between dimensions or whatever, and they're immortal and they think themselves so above everything. And when Brita comes along and she's like, actually, I'm gonna do some science on your asses, I'm gonna figure you out, and then I'm gonna undo you with new advances that you could never have thought of, that your magical protections don't give you defenses from. And again, I thought that was sort of the theme of her arc. Like, what she meant to the story was that she's coming in with all this new learning and new knowledge. She's taking up the legacy of Louis Soir. And she's bringing this new knowledge to the conflict that's going to solve the problem. And she kind of does, but then also heroic sacrifice, because Louis Soir did a heroic sacrifice. It's confused. Like, it seemed that there was a really clear through line of what her character arc was going to be, and then it's just like, actually heroic sacrifice, because that's dramatic and meaningful in a way that just solving the problem with expertise somehow isn't, you know? Anyway, let's man, I want to look at Glams, but let's go finish up Moonbrida's part of the story first. I'm also frustrated because that lame-ass villain did not deserve to take such a good character with him. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like that guy. I've forgotten his name already. He just wasn't interesting.
I'm a villain, and I speak in an arrogant, nasal tone. Blah, 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 blah. That gives me a terrifying personality.
Nabrialis, right.
Of which you should be frightened. Yes, I am a dangerous villain.
Like, he's just so lame. So yeah, it sucks that Moonbrida had to sacrifice herself for that.
Forgive me, Moonbrida. Had I been quicker or wiser, but I was not, and you paid the price. But you would not suffer us to wallow in our sorrow, would you? You would tell us to pick ourselves up and get on with it. And so we shall. We shall defend this realm and her people to the last.
Life for death, a fair exchange. Other bargains will be struck.
Okay. I figured she deserved at least a minute of respect from us, right? A minute of silence. Since the story wasn't about to give her the respect she deserved. Once again with the chair. And I gotta say, like... the outfit works really well with the chair, because it has that sort of, like, leader of a secret organization, mafia don stylish thing going on. So, like, the suit with, like, the tie and the... I guess that's a gun? Rifle? Some sort of staff? Something along those lines. Whatever it is, like, that long, slender, like a cane, essentially, kind of thing. That works really well with, like, the pose and the vibe of like, the chair mount as a thing. It's really good. Also, with the hair, like, I love the red hair with the white tips. That's always such a good way, like, there's such limited options in Final Fantasy XIV when it comes to showing age on a character, right? Like, we've talked about that before, that old characters are like, no one here can make an old character. We can't look old, really. And so one of the few options you have to express the idea of aging is that you can use, like, the hair color options to give your character white streaks, right? To give them salt and pepper, to sort of age them up a little bit. And here, like, that age adds to a sense of maturity, along with, like, the character model. That, again, like, really just aids in the sense of, like, dommy-mommy appeal that we've got going on here. That's really good. Oh god, more chairs. And here you can see, like how different the vibe of the chair becomes depending on the character design that's sitting in it, right? Like, that's a very different feel with these two characters compared to that one. And I will say, I don't think the colors match the outfit nearly as well here, because, like, you have that red that contrasts so well with, like, the dark. Maybe blends a little bit too much with the pink, unfortunately. Can you change the color of these chairs? That would be kind of cool if you could do that. But the bright white here, like, really giving you Ranny the witch vibes, actually. Like, that contrasts well with it, but I think, like, a dark red, maybe, like, yes, like, if dark black, like, some really dark blacks and grays, burgundy, that definitely works really well with that particular mount. Oh, speaking of mounts, the Shiba Inu. It's a cutesy one. Hey, Catboy in a maid outfit, or kind of. Gotta appreciate that, right? Yeah, you do. Ooh. Oh, that is... Oh, that's a cool-ass sword. Like, that's a very, like, I'm 15 and this is badass kind of sword, but, like, in the good way. Like, with the spikes on the pommel and, like, the flaming blade. Oh, and the flaming chain around... that rules. Oh, that rules. In such a juvenile way, that rules. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. All of the edgelord emotes. Excellent. Cool. And that's a pretty good match with the outfit, too. Like, you have the orange that, like, matches well with, like, the flame on the blade itself. And then, like, a dark coloring, which really... Yeah, because, like, when you have a bright flame blade like that, having a dark base color is often a good idea, because you give it something to glow against. Whereas if it had been a completely bright white outfit, for example, imagine how different the flame would sort of seem in contrast with that. Man, people are so good at glamming shit. Oh, hello. Yes, absolutely.
The rising stones feel somehow colder. Mine breeder always carried with her such an abundance of warmth and cheer.
And thighs.
We must find some means of protecting ourselves from Ascian intrusions. There must be a way. I don't feel much like talking at the moment. If you could just give me some time. I loathe to see Ida in such pain, but I have not the words to comfort her. Can you imagine it? I, Papa Limo, the one who has an eloquent comment for every situation, I'm at a loss for words.
Good. That means you're grieving.
Though we have said our farewells, the fall of polar sadness has diminished but little. Forgive me, as antecedent, 'tis my job to be the pillar of strength for all others to lean upon. Yet, I also believe the grief we feel now is precious in its own way, and not to be lightly swept aside. Do you not agree, Brick?
Only 16 quests and an hour of cutscenes to go. Oh, come on!
'Tis as if a dagger has been thrust into my breast. But 'tis pain we must learn to bear if we are to forge ahead with our duty. The battles we've fought have taken the lives of so many. Louisoix, Moonbreeder, our fellows at the Waking Sands. Their spirit and dedication to our cause, however, will never be lost as long as we rise to fight once more. I hardly need remind you of this, of course. 'Tis for my own benefit that I repeat these words, a reaffirmation of mine own chosen path. If I do not rebuild the foundation of my resolve, I am like to collapse in a fit of weeping. My apologies again, Brick. There's no other to whom I could display such weakness.
How about your friends? I don't know. Okay.
You are my pillar of strength, and I fear I shall have need of your steadfast presence in the days to come.
A victory won, a comrade lost, to honor the fallen, the living forge ever on toward the light of a new day. Hi, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt the game for a second here to tell you that Jane, my lovely editor who makes these episodes so nice, has written a book with their wife Laura Kate Dale called Who Hunts the Whale. It's a satirical novel about working in the games industry, exploring the absurd realities of working in AAA games development, the strange and disheartening issues that burn people out, and even what might possibly be done about them. It comes out on February 16th, and if you need something to read, hey, I recommend it. Anyway, back to Eorzea. So, that seems like a good place to cut this particular episode. If you're watching on Twitch, don't worry, there is more Final Fantasy yet to come, but if you're going to be watching this on YouTube, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to like, comment, and subscribe to see the next episode once it comes out. If you want to see those episodes early, become a member of the channel, and that'll give you early access. That's what that does. If you subscribe on the Twitch channel, you get access to the archives of the VODs, which includes all of the in-between episodes hanging out stuff I do with chat. And I think that's all of the self-promotion I need to do. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and the things. And thank you very much for watching. Remember to be kind to one another. Have solidarity with those who are worse off than yourselves. And may the tides of history wash gently over us all.